Hi, welcome back to Josie channel. I know I have not been posting a lot on this channel because I'm working full-time and I've been really busy the past year. And one of the topics that I recently encountered was the importance of being assertive. I think being assertive is very important at work, in your family life, with your friends, and this is something that I realized as I go through life. I was a passive communicator in the past. If you knew me in the past as my friend, especially in school, I'm one that would hide behind other people, especially when asking questions or standing up for myself. I'm not one who would speak up for my rights or others or defend myself or others. I'm someone who will accept things as they are. I remember when I was 10 and I was walking along the school corridor, and I was standing right beside this pile of trash that I did not realize, and there was this school disciplinary teacher. We call her the tiger teacher, and she walked past by and saw me standing by this pile of trash, and without checking, she assumed that I threw the trash on the floor. And immediately, I didn't have time to think. She pinched my ear, she turned it so hard, it was so painful, and she screamed in front of everyone. She said, "Why did you throw the rubbish on the floor?" And she then immediately gave me a demerit for a crime I did not commit. I was so upset about this incident, and I just cried, and I didn't know what to do to defend myself. Reflecting back on this incident, I realized that it's so important for you to stand up for yourself. No matter how old you are, whether you are a child, you're a teenager, you're an adult, these things are so important. Asians, especially myself, we are brought up in a surrounding where we will accept things as they are and not speak back because of the culture of not talking back to the elders. But as I grew up, I realized how important it is for us to speak up ourselves if we think the situation permits, if we think it's something justified. There are a few scenarios where I think that being assertive is really important. In office, it is very common to have this person called Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy is someone who will never say no to anything you ask. I am one of the Miss Nice lady, and I used to say yes to every request, even it comes from my colleague, even it's not my task to do, and I will say yes. And Mr. Nice Guy would then accept all requests from other people, and there will be the Mr. B, taking advantage guy, who would then ask Mr. Nice Guy to do things for him. And I'm too busy, can you help me with this task? And eventually he finds that Mr. Nice Guy is so accommodative, he starts to add more responsibilities to Mr. Nice Guy. Can you do this for me? It's urgent. Can you add on this additional thing for me? I can't complete it right now. And Mr. Nice Guy will feel more and more overwhelmed and more frustrated because he has no control of the situation. He keeps saying yes, and yet he's really disgruntled inside. And he has no place to blame the situation, and the easiest victim is to blame the manager. Or the management is so uncooperative, giving me such a lot of work to do, and I can't manage my time. I'm working overtime, but that person does not realize actually the reason why he finds himself in this situation, because he chose to say yes. And because he chose to say yes, he actually puts himself in this deep shithole that he cannot come out from. And this is where Mr. Nice Guy would say, "Hey, this is not the right company for me, I need to leave." So it is important that you realize whether you are being assertive for yourself. If you think that you are being taken advantage of, one of the ways is this. For the first time, if the person asks you for help, maybe it's really a sincere ask. You can say, "Yes, I will help you this time, but the next time I hope that you'll be able to plan out your time so that you can complete all your responsibilities, because I also have my own responsibilities. In another setting, especially when you're dealing with your stakeholders or your customers, my work involves a lot around projects, and I quote project budgets to my customers and stakeholders. And sometimes there will be customers that will come back and say, hey, 100K for this project is too much. I just don't have the budget for it. And as the receiving end, you really want to help your customers to reach their goal of implementing this project. So what should you do? So one of the ways is to say no, but yet give an alternative solution. One of the ways is saying this: hey, I know 100K may be too much for you, but maybe I can suggest something like this. We can implement the project with only the key deliverables, the things that would keep the business going. If we implement these 5 deliverables instead of 10, but yet able to keep your business running at 50,000, you would be able to execute your project as you would like and plan to, and I will be able to deliver it to you. And it will be a win-win situation. Then after this project, maybe next year when you have the additional budget, we can implement the rest of the deliverables as part of enhancing the existing project. What do you think? So this way, your customers are getting what they want, and you are also able to execute your deliverables as well without declining their request. In terms of personal relationships, this also happens with your best friends, your BFFs. They are nice people, but sometimes not everyone is perfect. Everybody has their own flaws. And as for me, I have friends that I love to go and hang out with, and there will be this friend who would like to make plans, but at the last minute pull out. We're supposed to have dinner on Saturday at 8 p.m. and 7 p.m. she will call and tell you, hey, I just don't feel like doing it. I'm not really in the mood to do it today. And at that time you're all dressed up, you have all your makeup on, you have arranged with your family to take care of your children, and you really feel lousy because you're all made up and nowhere to go. If it happens once, it's okay, but it happens a couple of times, I actually feel quite let down that I don't feel important in the person's life. So I used to be a passive person and a person who would say okay to everything. Okay, but I'll just swallow inside, but yet I just feel disappointed. Then a friend told me, hey, one day we were having dinner, she just spoke out what I wanted to say. He said, hey, every time you do it, you cancel plans at the last minute, and I've already made, I scheduled things and put other plans aside just to make sure that we can go out together. But when you cancel plans in the last minute, it just makes me feel that I'm not important. Can we all agree in the future that if we make plans, that we will honor our plans? That way all of you are aligned and agreeing, that we will all make an effort to honor the plans, and things like this will not happen again. You won't feel disgruntled by that situation, and you still can maintain your friendship, understanding each other's needs. Another part where I felt that being assertive is in a family setting. I would give an example of my children. My children are really very shy ones. So, there was this church camp that my daughter wanted to attend, but she didn't have any friends who wanted to go with her. But towards the last week of the camp, she found out that one of her school friends, classmate, is going, and she wanted to join. But she said, I have to go up to my teacher and say, I didn't register, the deadline is over. I'm afraid that the teacher will just scold me. So I rather, even though I really want to go, I rather not go through that hassle. But being a parent, I really understood the body language of my daughter. I knew that even though she said she didn't want to go, inside I knew that she wanted to go. So I actually made the call for her, And the teacher said, yes, why not? One day before the camp, she got herself registered. And I told her, in life, you then seldom second chances. It's important for you to speak up for yourself. If you want something for yourself, you know that it's not a crime, just go ahead and ask for it. Because you're asking it for yourself. You're not asking it for others. You need to love yourself. You need to know your needs. It's something that you really want, speak up. Say, yes, I want it. And go for it. So what are the factors that can help you to be more assertive in life? So one of the things that I realized, I personally felt that is really important, is to be confident in yourself. If you know that your ask is something reasonable, then go ahead and ask for it. If you are in class, you don't understand a certain subject, just raise your hand and ask the teacher. If you are in a department meeting, and if you don't understand, just raise your hand and ask the question. Because you never know, there are maybe another 2 or 3 person who may have the same question as you, and they will be really thankful that you asked this question. Don't always look at the people around you and try to figure out what they're thinking about you. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is yourself. You're responsible for yourself and your own needs. So being confident also means that your body language must also show it. When you're asking for something, stand up straight, don't slouch, have good eye contact, look at the person, be ready for your points to support your ask, and get all the facts ready before you have that discussion. If you are somebody who is very timid and shy, perhaps you want to practice it in front of the mirror a few times before you approach the subject. And if you think at that time during that discussion, maybe it's a meeting and you're getting really emotional you're really upset about the situation, I would suggest that you take that discussion another time when you are more cooled down. Because when you are asking for something, you need to be calm in your head so that you can plan what you are going to say to support your ask. So I hope that this sharing is helpful to you as it did to me. I realize now how important it is for me to be assertive, because there are seldom second chances in life. If you want something so bad, you want something in your life to change, then you have got to be assertive enough to get what you want, to ask for what you want. I hope this sharing is something that will help you in your life, in your workplace, with your friends, with your parents, your family, because it did help me. I've gone through this journey myself, and I hope that it will be faster for you to have this self-realization. I realized that the sooner I have that realization, I would have opened up a lot of opportunities for myself. I would have known where I would go after college, what I want to study for university, instead of following people's advice. I would be more assertive to find out what are the other options for me. So being timid is not something to be proud of. I think it's something that we need to work on. Being confident is really one of the most important factors to do well in life. So I hope this sharing session is something that will help you in your life. And if you think that this video is helpful, please share your experiences, how you use this tip to help you handle situations in your workplace, in your family, or with your friends. I hope to see you in my next video, and I hope you really enjoyed this sharing session. See you in my next video. Thank you for supporting this channel. Bye.